What's going on, everyone? Chris here with Clutter Reduction Junk Removal, and we just got done wrapping up a smaller job, quarter of a truck basically, of some empty cardboard boxes already pre-folded, a couple of bags of construction debris, and some miscellaneous objects. In that load of boxes, though, was about 8 brand new Walmart large boxes. I asked her, "Are you sure you want me to take this? Because you can return it and get your money back. They just moved in." She's like, "No, no, no, just take it all. I want it gone." And I was like, "Okay." Because now what I'm going to do is go bring those to Walmart with no receipt and get a store credit for about $40 worth of boxes. So, free money. But that's aside the point. That's just a little fun bonus for the day. What I wanted to talk about is something that I've been getting asked questions about for probably the last 2 years, and that is online booking. Do I do it, and what platform do I prefer? And the answer is no, I don't do it. Now, the reason I don't do online booking is because I am still primarily a solo operator. If I had an employee with me full time and I always had help, absolutely. I think online booking is probably one of the best tools you can use, especially through your website. But it's not something that would be good for me personally because I am solo. So I'll give you an example. In the past, I have had somebody text me, and this is before I was really doing things through messaging. They text me a picture of a couch and said, "I need this picked up. This is my address, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Okay, great. I can be out there this weekend to come get it." Those were all the details they gave me, though. When I got there, that couch was not on the first floor. It was a sleeper sofa. They didn't mention that. I also didn't ask, so that's my fault. And it was in a townhouse on the third floor in a little den with a really small door. They said when I got there, "We're so glad you're here because the movers had a really hard time getting it in here." Keep in mind, I'm showing up by myself. They said they had a really hard time getting in there. They named off the company. I know who the company is. And I was like, awesome. I'm glad you told me. So I got it out. It was not easy. It took me about probably 45 minutes to do the job by myself. And they were amazed by it. But I wouldn't want to do that all the time. One, it's a risk for damage. Two, it's a lot of strain on myself depending on this situation. It's not easy to get certain pieces out of tight areas. On top of watching out for damage purposes, it wasn't something I was able to take apart. Back then, I probably could have pulled out the whole bed, but that wasn't something I was familiar with at the time. So it was just difficult for me overall. But knowing that in advance, I could have brought somebody with me and it would have been a super easy job. But there's situations like that where people will inquire online, they'll pre-book, they're already set up for a time slot, they're looking forward to this, and they're expecting it to be done. And you show up and you're like, "I need to get a second guy. I don't know if I can get somebody today. I'm going to have to come back." They're probably not going to be happy with you, and they're probably going to find somebody else. So now you not only lost a client, but you lost money, you lost a potential referral, you lost a potential repeat client, and you lost a potential positive review. If anything, you might get a bad review. So that's kind of the cons to it. If I had somebody with me, I would be all over online booking, but I don't. So until that happens, I like to stick what I do. And what I do is I do online inquiry, but I set up my form so that a decent amount of information is required to be inputted. And that information is a full name, a phone number, an email, an address, and a source of how they heard about me. That's just a bonus. But the reason I require all those information up front is now I can look up their house or their address and figure out where they live, what kind of house it is. I have an option to put in messages. So you can put in your availability or details about the move or a gate code or something that I otherwise wouldn't know ahead of time. And I have an option for pictures. And the pictures have been a very big help as well. People are very quick, and most people are doing it over the phone, so they'll just take a picture and they'll upload it to a form. So now I can look back as well if they're booking days or weeks in advance and say, okay, this is what that job was. So I found that to all be very helpful. And the other good thing about it is it saves me a lot of time, miscommunication, and prevention of spelling errors. So I have a $20 discount deal that goes with it when you acquire online because it's a common deal grabber. But it also saves me time and headache because I can have somebody call and give me an address over the phone and maybe I don't hear it very well. Or they give me a name that doesn't sound super straightforward. So I have to say, oh, how do you spell your name? Or can you confirm that address like down to the letter? It could just be kind of a pain. And I don't have their email up front and I don't have all their information. So I can't get an invoice fully like set up ahead of time, which saves me time on the job site. So it's very helpful to have that information up front so that I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. I know who I'm dealing with, who my contact is. Everything's just ready to go. And I found that to be super helpful. And it's definitely worth the $20 discount to have somebody have all that information ready for me upon arrival. So that is what I have done. And so far, I have not had any problems with it. I have not had any customers say, oh, I wish you had online booking. I haven't had any complaints about going through the website for inquiries as far as time and response goes. And I haven't heard anything about it not being an easy system to kind of cooperate with. So all good things so far. But that is just what I wanted to talk about for any of you who are maybe solo and you're kind of on the fence about doing online booking. I didn't think it would be a good move for me personally. And if you run solo, you probably are going to be in the same boat unless you have a very wide group of people you can choose from on the spot and almost always guarantee to have somebody available, then by all means hop into it. But that is what I found to be helpful, is to make those things required, because the more information you can get without making like a whole survey form, the better. So that is it for me. I'm going to head off and drop off the trailer and continue on with what we need to get done. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.